Company presents itself as a reputable global consultancy operating across the world with an office in London and recent contracts worth £55 million with a cabinet office alone. Yet in South Africa, Bain brazenly assisted former President Jacob Zuma to organise his decade of shameless looting and corruption, the company earning fat fees estimated at £100 million from 2 billion rand from state institutions. South Africa's State Capture Commission, a judicial inquiry headed by Deputy Chief Justice Zondo, indicted Bain's work with the South African Revenue Service, SARS, as unlawful and recommended that all its South African public sector contracts be re-examined with a view to prosecution. At the time, Bain South Africa's work was endorsed both by its London office and its US headquarters in Boston. Bain's also been disgracefully smearing Mr. Athol Williams, a key whistleblower praised by the Zondo Commission, who recently had to flee to the UK for his safety. Given the scandalous collusion of Bain UK and Bain USA, I'm asking that the UK government and the US government immediately suspend all government contracts with Bain. I wrote 3 weeks ago to the Prime Minister requesting this, and he's replied stating that the Cabinet Office will look into this matter with urgency, and the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster wrote to me yesterday saying that they will be contacting Bain. I hope that those contracts will be suspended, and that's the case for all public sector contracts in the UK. However, Bain's shamefully shady behaviour is just the tip of the iceberg. The prodigious looting, corruption and money laundering under former President Zuma would not have been possible without the complicity of Bain, KPMG, McKinsey, SAP, Hogan Lovells and the banks HSBC, Standard Chartered and Bank of Baroda. These fee-clutching global corporates and turn-a-blind-eye governments from London and Washington to Dubai, Delhi and Beijing help rob South African taxpayers, contributing to a catastrophic loss of its GDP of around a fifth. Economists estimate the full cost of the Zuma state capture to be a monumental 750 million, or rand 1.5 trillion. The government's total expenditure is just 2 trillion annually. These global corporates all obtained sweetheart state contracts, which helped Zuma's business associates, the Gupta brothers, to loot the state. Global banks like HSBC, Standard Chartered and Baroda transferred this looted money through their digital pipelines to less regulated jurisdictions like Dubai and Hong Kong, or British overseas territories in the Caribbean, to then clean the money by mingling it with other funds, disguising its origins and enabling it to be more easily spent. Lawyers and accountants assisted the Guptas to set up complex shell front companies, hiding their true owners, the Guptas, or their associates, and enabling money to be moved to a country where there is low transparency. Dishonest audits left suspicious transactions hidden. Estate agents received laundered money during Gupta property purchases. Global brand names from KPMG to McKinsey, from HSBC to Standard Chartered, all profited while the Guptas hid and spent their stolen funds that could otherwise have been destined for essential South African public services, job creation or infrastructure, leaving South Africa's public finances near bankrupted and its growth stalled. I therefore find it completely unacceptable, my lords, that Bain is licensed to operate commercially in the UK, the USA or anywhere else in the world, at least until it has repaid all its fees earned from the South African state during the Zuma-Gupta years and answered charges in the courts there. Unless the UK, US, Chinese, Indian and UAE governments cooperated with each other, state capture will happen again, either in South Africa or other countries. For the truth is that international criminals continue to loot and money launder with impunity through centres like London, New York, Hong Kong, Delhi and Dubai. Ministers talk the talk on corruption, but refuse to take the necessary tough action against guilty big corporations to stop it. Meanwhile, financial crime is estimated by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime to be worth around 5% of global GDP, or $2 trillion each and every year.